this show took a turn for horror to Netflix to the White Six to now our main event. We have arrived, ladies and gentlemen, at the main event of Crown Jewel. It is Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Championship. We got the most expensive pyro on this fucking show up to this point. It was just egregious how much pyro went off during Roman Reigns' entrance. But Logan Paul, if not for Braun Breaker, would be my rookie of the year in professional wrestling. Third match in, had a fantastic main event against Roman Reigns. And apparently he has torn his MCL and his ACL, and he might be out of action for a good 6 to 9 months. And the fact he did all of that with a fucked up knee should be commended. But even without knowing that information, he was really great in this match, and Roman Reigns was every bit of the ring general, and Paul Heyman was selling fear at ringside. The crowd felt like a WrestleMania crowd, biting for every near fall, rooting for Logan Paul at various points. Scott will go move for move, and I'll come back eventually. But this guy is really fucking amazing at this professional wrestling thing. 3 matches in, and Dave Meltzer's going to fuck around and give this guy 4.5 stars for this match. My bold prediction after getting 4 out of Miz a couple of months ago at SummerSlam. So Logan Paul is, in my eyes, a wrestling unicorn, a guy that comes through ever so often and is really, really good at this shit. And I am proud of him. And I shouldn't be, but I am.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And I'll go ahead and say I gave it 4.5 tiers. I thought this match was excellent. Excellent. One of the best WWE matches you'll see all year. And I genuinely mean that. This is one of the best. Logan Paul, for everything, I'm not a fan of the Paul brothers. I think they're arrogant, loud mouths. They get their money. I can't knock that. But, they're just not for me. But there is no denying this dude is an athletic specimen. Like, he can do I love the beginning of the match where Logan, and we forget that Logan is a legit athlete. Like, he was a wrestler in high school, and they played into that. He was out wrestling Roman Reigns using wrestling maneuvers. When he hit that first slam, and Roman kind of looked like, hold on, then Roman slams him down. Then it goes down, drops him with a fireman's carry. I loved all that. His leapfrog, that boy got bunnies. Let me tell you, old boy has bunnies. He's clearing them. He jumped straight up on the apron right into a springboard forearm. And when I say that dude had hang time, like, it may not have been Montez and Dante high, but he wasn't that far below them. And when he was throwing that forearm, Roman catches him with an uppercut, takes control, starts kicking him. Logan Paul is doing a great job selling. I'm blown away. Like, I'm more inclined now to absolutely give most of the credit for that Miz match. The 4-star Miz. It's got to go to that's Logan Paul, man. He does it all. He hit a buckshot lariat. Eat your heart out, CM Punk. He didn't fall down when he hit the clothesline. You can tell he is passionate about this, and he cares about how he looks and how he's presented, and he treats this with respect. Like, at any point, like you talked about, he injured his knee. When? You know what I mean? Like, when did he injure his knee? And I'm not saying that as a smart aleck. I'm saying that as in, like, this dude was going balls to the wall the entire time. Let's talk about one of the most egregious and disrespectful things I think I've ever seen in a wrestling ring as a wrestling move. This dude, Logan Paul, put Roman Reigns on the announce table, grabbed one of his boys' phones, was on that joint live, talking to the fans, and said, Roman, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You going viral, boy, and jumped off and hit a frog splash while going live and never dropped the camera. Come on, man. I mean, that's creative, that's innovative, that's different. I've never seen it. I've never seen anyone go live while hitting a frog splash. I mean, I was blown away by this match, and I'm sure I've missed a couple big spots that they hit, but I can't say enough good things about it. Jake Paul ends up coming out after the Usos come out, and they end up beating up the Entourage. They just start whooping on them, so there's that. Now this, I was not a fan of Jake Paul coming out, and all of a sudden this dude's Mike Tyson. Like, no, he's not. Okay, no, he's not. They're not Tyron Woodley. They're not ducking their chin in to catch a blow so they can get paid $500,000 to take a knee. You know, that ain't the Uso. So I wasn't a fan of that whole thing. I appreciate them treating Solo like a big deal. I wish he would have just laid out Jake, but you know that's there. And then Logan comes in. Roman hits the spear once, or hits the Superman punch, then the spear. 1, 2, 3. We go home. Hey. And they played into the one lucky punch. Logan does hit the one lucky punch, then hits a Superman punch. And again, this is why I'm wondering, when did he tear up his knee? Because he's hitting dives out. He hit a no hands tope over the ropes onto everyone at the end of the match, and he had to have tore up his knee before that. I mean, he is a hell of an athlete. A hell of an athlete. The frog splash he hit from across the ring, beautiful frog splash. It reminded me of like a mix of like D'Lo's and AJ Styles, the way they would spread their legs real wide, put their hands between like that. I loved it, man. Great match. Can't say enough.
I was blown away by it. I think that JD mentioned to us in the Slack chat, it could have been the buckshot lariat spot, that it could have ended right there with his knee. I don't know, because he didn't miss a beat. He did blockbusters off the top rope. He did crossbodies off the barricade. He did gut wrench suplexes with ease. The dive on the outside at the table with the cell phone. He did a live and said, "I got you, Roman." And the fact he did that was insane. And Austin Theory retired from the game.
I didn't even think about that. He killed that man's gimmick.
He absolutely murdered Austin Theory's gimmick. He killed it dead. Theory should never pick up a phone again in his life, because nothing will top what Logan Paul did to that man. The disrespect to film himself frog splashing Roman Reigns live, and the footage comes out clean as a whistle. Nothing would top that. Then I was blown away with the buckshot lariat. I was like, no, he didn't. He went in the Hangman Page bag and it was clean like Hangman, and way better than CM Punk, the extra fuck you from Chicago with your muffins. Like, this guy is so good, and I hate him for it. And what I hate about this is the fact that he's so good with just having command and presence. This isn't a spot for spot match. It's a flow. There's a level of psychology to it. He knows when to get the crowd on his side. He just has this extra something that very few possess as actual professional wrestlers, that you're in the groove and you just go with the flow. And that's Logan Paul. 3 matches in and he's this great. And as you said, that was Logan against The Miz at SummerSlam. Miz did his thing, but Logan Paul proved against Roman Reigns, the very best in WWE, that I can hang with the tribal chief. I can deliver a 4.5-star match with zero chill with a bad knee, and you can't remember when he fucked up his knee because he's that great. And he's only going to get better when he heals up. And I have a dream match already locked in right now. Give me Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Book it for SummerSlam next summer. I want to see that, because I know those two and what they can do athletically is going to be insane.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, it's baffling to think about, because when Logan Paul first signed up, when you had the whole thing that Logan Paul was going to wrestle, I was like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing? he has a good match at WrestleMania. And then you hear he's going to have a singles match with The Miz at SummerSlam. And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And they blow us all away. And then they say Logan Paul is going to wrestle Roman Reigns for the title. And everyone's like, including myself, what are you doing? What are you doing? And they come out here and tear the roof off. Like, this was a worthy, quality main event on any show that WWE puts out all year. This could main event and close out anything. It's a test. I mean, and let's not also forget Roman Reigns deserves some praise too. Like, Roman Reigns absolutely commanded and led this match. Let's not have any questions about that. He definitely led and commanded this match, but Logan still did his thing, and I'm just blown away at how good he is 3 matches in. And I know he gets a lot of extra, like he can get that specialized one-on-one training all day, every day, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's other people who can get that training that just don't catch on like him. Like, Keila, you and I talk all the time when we talk about NXT people, reps and having reps and seeing the improvement. And we've talked about on this show how we've seen improvement in Omos, but that's been over the course of a year, over the course, a year and a half. How we've seen improvements in some of the NXT talents. We've seen drastic improvements from Logan Paul from match 1 to match 3. His selling was a lot better in this match than it was in the Miz match. Just the way he sold certain things and kind of let the moments build to certain things. Really, really impressive match. I hope he's not out for a long time. I hope it's not a full tear and he's able to come back by WrestleMania, because whether we like him or not, that's a big name to have on your WrestleMania card. And you talk about him versus Seth Rollins. I'll be honest with you, man. I wouldn't be opposed to Logan Paul versus Rollins for the U.S. title. Let Rollins hold that belt to WrestleMania and let Logan Paul wrestle for. I mean, like, because everybody's going to be like, no, don't do it. And then he's going to do something like this and blow everyone away. So, hey, let him have whatever he wants. I mean, he's shown that he can handle the biggest pressure you can possibly put on him. I'm with you. Him versus Rollins would be a banger of a match, and I'd be here for it.
That would clear 5 stars, dare I say.
That's bold.
If given the time. I'm bold, but Seth Rollins is fucking incredible. If you give him the canvas to paint, he's not gonna miss with the Logan Paul as an opponent. If Roman got 4.5, Seth's getting 5.
No, you're right.
I believe that.
Seth got 4 stars out of Dominic Mysterio. You're absolutely right about that.
So he can pull 5 out of Logan Paul. Listen, he's a miracle worker. He gave Cody 5 stars with a fucked up pec. He'll give Logan 5 too, and hopefully he'll be healthy by then. But I'm just blown away with Logan Paul as well. I don't want to like him. He'll get honorary cheddar biscuits from me. I'm not gonna lie. He'll get a complimentary basket because that's how good he is. And Roman Reigns is just that guy. He was there for every spot, but Logan Paul was his equal. And let's not forget, this was the main event of a pay-per-view, of a PLE. Logan Paul, 3 matches in, main evented a WWE show, and he felt right at home. And the fact that he's 3 matches in and you go from progression to progression from WrestleMania, and it was good. It was spotty, but good. SummerSlam was even better. This was extraordinarily great. And when he's healed up, he's only going to get better. And I got a list of people he can fight. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, give me Melo and Logan Paul at some point too. I'll take all of those options. Give me some Gunther if you want to be brave at some point, because I think Logan Paul can handle it.
I don't know if hey, Keila. I don't know if
his soul needs to be
I don't know if he knows what it's like to have his soul escape his body and be able to see his lifeless body on the ground while his soul swims back to that body. I don't know if he's quite ready for that one yet. Let's not send that man to Gunther. Okay, let's not even send him to Sheamus yet. You trying to send that man to
No.
Gunther? Okay, let's.
I sent him to glory.
I mean, like, woo, yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm with you on the Rollins one. I don't know if I can condemn him to Gunther.
I would, just to see his soul leave his body and try to fight back.
Now, Jake, we can condemn
on.
Jake. I'm on the Logan Paul bandwagon now. I don't even want. But Jake, we can condemn him. Let Gunther take his soul.
Now listen. Now I have some female mutuals on my Twitter thing, and they was lusting after Jake. I'm like, how?
His little muscle ball self. His little blonde muscle ball looking self.
I said, when Logan's right there. I have no shame in saying that. He is a superior Paul brother.
See, that's why they work for women. One of them is going to do it for you. Like, that's why they work. One of the two, even if the other one does it, one of them's going to do it for you.
Did you hear the girls screaming for Logan Paul during this match? They were screaming.
Yeah.
They were screaming. They were
Speaking
loud.
of the crowd, one thing I do want to say about Logan, he's been able to turn every single crowd when he wrestles. When he's wrestling, he's been able to turn every crowd to start chanting for him and getting behind him. And I mean, again, that's just really impressive for someone who is generally and universally mostly hated, except by probably women.
That is a valid point. And that was my advice to him, that you can't talk your way into being liked. You're going to have to work for it. And if you put in the work and you can see the effort, it's clearly there. Every match he's been in WWE so far, you can see the respect he has for this. And he just brings his all to all that he does. And that's how you garner respect. They'll go back to hating you when you open your mouth again, but they will always remember, like, damn, Logan gonna give you a good match, if not a great one, regardless of the circumstances. So he's gonna get respect from his in-ring work. He'll never get it via his promos because he's an asshole. But as a wrestler, you got my respect. Always.